Will the Jets draft Trey Lance? Yesterday I came on here and said, I think Zach Wilson has fallen to the Niners. I don't think the Jets are going to take him. And what I'm hearing around the league, the speculation is that the Jets might take Justin Fields. That makes sense. A lot of people like Justin Fields. What if it's Trey Lance instead, though? Let me make the case for why it could be Trey Lance. They're both excellent athletes. You could argue that Trey Lance is even better. Trey Lance he's still 20. He's still growing and filling out. When he's done, he's going to be about 6'4", 6'5", 245, 250. It's going to be like Josh Allen. Justin Fields is 6'2.5", 227, a little bit more Dak Prescott size, RG3 size. Trey Lance is the one with high upside potential. He's young, hasn't played much, but very smart guy. Everyone says he's extremely smart and driven, self-driven. He wasn't getting scholarship offers as a quarterback. He has a lot to prove. He's got a chip on his shoulder. He played in a pro-style offense, but here's the kicker. He went to North Dakota State. That's where Carson Wentz went. Why is Carson Wentz important? Well, Robert Saleh isn't making this pick for the Jets. Joe Douglas is. That's their GM. He's a strong GM. He hired Saleh. He has strong opinions on who to take. He came from Philly. In 2016, he was the Philadelphia Eagles vice president of player personnel. You know who Philly took with the second pick in the 2016 draft? They traded up to get him too. Carson Wentz, North Dakota State. And Carson Wentz has had an up and down career. He was excellent his second year, 2017. He was on pace to be the MVP until he tore his ACL right at the end of the season. Hasn't really been the same since. But Joe Douglas could say, look, before he got hurt, this guy was a superstar. He was better than any quarterback Ohio State or Alabama has produced ever, or at least in the last 50 years. And the thing about Trey Lance is he's even better. Better prospect, better athlete, higher, more potential. That's what Joe Douglas could say. If Joe Douglas liked Carson Wentz enough in 2016 to take him with the number 2 pick, some unknown dude from North Dakota State, why wouldn't he do it again? Once again, you got a guy who is an excellent athlete with potential, but he's played in a pro-style offense. He comes from a program that has had success developing NFL quarterbacks. He has been under center. He makes the reads and the calls and the checks at the line of scrimmage. He turns his back to the defense with play action. Seems like maybe he's a better fit for the Kyle Shanahan offense than Justin Fields, who spent most of his time in a spread offense in college. Maybe if the Niners like Trey Lance, maybe the Jets would like Trey Lance. And I keep going. Everyone thinks the Jets are taking Zach Wilson. Well, everyone thought the Niners were taking Mac Jones last week. It's really not clear. Who knows? Maybe the Jets and Niners could do a pick swap on draft day. Maybe the Niners end up picking second and the Jets end up picking third. One more thing. I was speculating early on in the process that I thought the 49ers and the Jets know what each other are drafting. That they somehow conferred and told, hey, I'm taking this guy or I'm not taking this guy. I just want you to know. I don't think that anymore. I think the Jets and the Niners are both keeping their picks 100% secret. I don't think anyone knows. I think you have very important newsbreakers like Adam Schefter trying to show that they're in the know and guessing, but I don't think anyone knows who the Jets are going to take, and I don't think anyone knows who the Niners are going to take. And part of the problem pigeonholing the Niners on a player is it all depends on who the Jets take. What if the Jets take Trey Lance? What if the Jets take Mac Jones? It all could change. So yesterday I said, I think the Jets go Justin Fields and Niners go Zach Wilson. Now I'm starting to think, well, man, if the Jets could talk themselves into Justin Fields, maybe they'll talk themselves into Trey Lance. Trey Lance seems possible. Joe Douglas has the North Dakota State connection. And there's another thing. I mean, I feel like what people say about Trey Lance reminds me of Fred Warner. I mean, super smart. Everyone says he's really smart, but lacks experience. Fred Warner played basically nickelback in college, and the Niners drafted him to play middle linebacker, something he'd never done. He learned on the job and had to remake his body. He put on like 15 pounds. But he had the work ethic, the smarts, the IQ, all the intangibles that Robert Saleh liked. It seems like Trey Lance has a lot of the same reports. kind of a Fred Warner-esque unknown guy from the mountain time zone, place where it doesn't get scouted very much, but Robert Saleh was all over BYU, and Fred Warner, maybe he likes Trey Lance too. I think it's possible. Trey Lance to the Jets. Keep an open mind there. All right. Couple questions, then I'll take a lot of calls. Look at college highlights of Mullins, Darnold, Man Crush Cullins. All players played just like Trey Lance. Mullins was in a spread offense in college. Mullins played for Todd Monken. He was more in a Trevor Lawrence, Justin Fields type thing. I'm just saying. All right, hold on. Hold the phone. Felix says, can you explain to me why the third best quarterback is worth 3 firsts when we wouldn't give up 1 first for Stafford, who is better now than these guys might ever be? Yeah, Felix, you got me there. I'm thinking this is what happened. The Niners were stingy in the Stafford trade. They didn't want to go all in. They wanted to get him at a bargain. And when the Rams committed and went all in, the Niners were like, go ahead, we'll get Deshaun Watson. Stupid. Overeager. Matthew Stafford, we're going to trump that. Good for you. You got Matthew Stafford, we're going to get Deshaun Watson. And then that fell apart, and the Niners were like, oh, no. We should have got Stafford. We should have got Stafford. We should have just done that. I don't know why we held out hope for this Deshaun Watson character who we didn't really know. Now we can't do that. Now we got to do something. Now we're trading up for the third best quarterback in the draft. Yeah, Felix, it's not good. I think in retrospect, if the Niners could do this offseason again, they would just trade for Matthew Stafford because he's going to be better than any quarterback they take at number 3. That's most likely. Last one, Niner by nature. I see you, Niner by nature. Trey Lance plus Javonte Williams would break records in the run game. Trey Lance may not be there. The more I think about it, the more it makes sense that the Jets would take him. Joe Douglas has already taken a North Dakota State quarterback before. The Jets can afford to let Trey Lance learn on the job. If he's the next Josh Allen, he's going to either need 2 years on the bench or 2 years to struggle on the field. The Jets can give him that. The Jets aren't going anywhere. They're rebuilding. They stink. They can let a rookie, inexperienced quarterback learn on the job the way the Bills did with Josh Allen. They drafted him the same year they hired a new coaching staff. It would work on the Jets. On the Niners, they can't afford to get Trey Lance because they're in win now mode. They think their Super Bowl window is open now. They've had 3 losing seasons in 4 years. Kyle Shanahan can't have the 4th one. He has to win more games than he loses next year. Has to. And if you draft Trey Lance, basically what you're telling the organization is, we may have another losing season because he's not necessarily going to help us this year. He could play. He may not help us. When Lance is on the team now, the whole thrust and focus of what you're trying to do is 2023. We're playing for 2023. Great. But Kyle can't do that because if by the time 2023 rolls around and they have Trey Lance, now they could be in a situation where they've had 5 losing seasons in 6 years. You don't get to do that in the NFL. You get fired, even if your name is Kyle Shanahan. You don't. Did Mike Shanahan ever have 5 losing seasons in 6 years? I doubt it. So Trey Lance, really intriguing athlete. He could end up being the best quarterback in this entire draft. Makes sense for the Jets. I don't think he makes sense for the 49ers, but what do I know?